I'll tell you guys though, I spoke to someone pretty important in football just the other day.
Me?
It was Chad Brown.
Okay.
He used to play for Pittsburgh. Great guy.
You're giving up your source.
Gave him my source.
My source was the guy sitting across the table from me, wearing the cufflinks.
He's no Joel Dreesen, but no. I, in all honesty, I spoke to someone pretty important, and this guy is not convinced.
Does his name rhyme with Anahan?
His name rhymes with Bike Fanahan. Yes. I'm of course referring. No.
Ron Helway.
That's who it was. That's who it was. Now you've revealed my. No, this person was saying he is not. He is a he. I'll admit the gender. He is not convinced that Peyton and Kubiak will work. He says, look, I know they're smart men. I know they can put it together, but I'm not convinced that they will both be at the top of their games together. And it was interesting hearing someone say that. So to your point about can Owen Daniels help out the team? Can Latimer ascend and actually be part of the offense? Sanders, Pro Bowl level. Demaryius, top 3 receiver level. There's a lot of confidence, but I'm being cautious.
I feel the same way.
Yeah, and we've talked about this before. I feel exactly the same way. I'm not. Of the Broncos offense, that's the part that I'm the least confident in. I know there's questions at offensive line, but now you got a tight end, now you got a running back, you got lots of receivers. But the ability for those guys to come together, have a meeting of the minds, and agree on that and be able to keep it going for not just the regular season, but the playoffs as well, that's a big question.
Right, it's just how can this guy's offense be designed and tinkered to fit 39-year-old Peyton Manning to the best of his abilities?
I am a firm believer with Peyton Manning. With the offense that he runs, Tom Brady could not run it, Joe Montana could not run it, Johnny Unitas could not run it. Manning runs his own specific offense.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
You could take most quarterbacks and put them in a West Coast offense. I don't know if they'll thrive or not. Manning's offense is run at 7.5 yards because it's all about timing. And I don't know if Kubiak's going to be willing to acquiesce to that.
Yeah.
Nor do I think you should. I think that is while it works in the regular season, it works against lesser opponents. The better the defense you play, which typically in the playoffs, you're going to play teams that have good defenses, they're going to take away that timing aspect.
Sure.
They're going to take away the precision of the offense. They're going to try to muddy up the field. And which is what Bill Belichick and the Patriots did when they beat those Colts and when they had those back-to-back Super Bowls, is they literally muddied the field in New England and slowed those receivers down, interrupted the timing, and it made Peyton so ineffective. For a guy who values precision, who works on his precision constantly, I think that's to his detriment, not to his benefit. When you are at Duke and you're operating on air, this is NFL. You're never going to operate on air. It's never going to be 7.5 yards right exactly on the hash. I'm going to throw it to his inside number. And the more you do that, I think the more you set yourself up to fail.
Yeah. Well, I'll say real quick, when you look at this, who's calling the plays, really? Obviously, Kubiak is the play caller, but how many audibles will Peyton do, and will that lead to some of this?
Let's go in depth on that a little bit more, where Manning does want that control at the line of scrimmage. How many times, we're not going to hear about it, right? We're not going to know what goes inside those walls at Dove Valley, but Kubiak and Dennison are going to send in a play, and then we're going to get Omaha.
Right.
And I think a lot of people are going to be thinking, is he overriding his
Whose offense is this? Whose offense is this? And I've written this. A lot of this is on Peyton this year to not be 2006 Peyton, but be this new Peyton who is more agreeable, more open to discussion and dialogue. And I think that's the best way this is going to work. If he comes in there defiant, nice little playbook you got there, but I'm Peyton Manning, we could have some issues.
At the same time, you don't want to disarm Peyton. If you get to the line of scrimmage and they got 9 guys in the box, well, you got to check out of a run. It just makes sense. So you don't want Peyton up there. He's already going to overthink it, but you don't want him to overthink it and start making poor decisions, because he's played enough football to know, this is what the defense gives me. There's a right play to check into here. But at some point, if Gary Kubiak wants to impose his will on the other team and there's 8 or 9 guys in the box, let's not check out of it. Let's just run the ball down their throat because they can't stop us.